welcome back to the Piston Show. Today I have here with me this beautiful 5 Series. Now this is the i5 eDrive 40. Now this is the G60 model. This is the latest 5 Series variant in the world, and currently there are only 2 i5 variants globally. One is this, the eDrive 40, and another is the M60, which is of course a higher performing. It has the works. Now the top of the line variant is not yet available in Malaysia, where else this is already available for sale since the end of 2023. Now this is also probably one of the nicest electric BMWs that I've ever sat in and driven, besides the i7 of course. And wow, I'm totally blown away. One thing that I really appreciate about BMW electric models is that they're not standalone models. Of course, there are a few like the iX, for example, but rather what BMW has done, they have offered electric powertrain options to existing models. So you can have this car with an internal combustion engine variant or a plug-in hybrid variant. We don't have that in Malaysia as yet. We only have it in electric. But sooner or later you're going to have that. And you can also have it an electric powertrain. Now there are no compromises. There's no compromises in the sense that the boot is not smaller to accommodate batteries, or there's nothing else that has to be compromised, simply because this has been designed to be an electric model as well as an internal combustion model from the very beginning. So there's absolutely no compromises whatsoever. Now, if you're watching this video simply because you're probably curious about this car, or you're considering its rivals such as the Mercedes-Benz electric variants. Now if you're looking at an electric Mercedes, I suggest you stop, watch this video, and I'll tell you why this is a better buy. Hang on. The BMW i5 eDrive 40 is the first of the G60 5 Series models to be available in Malaysia. This is an important departure from the past, where BMW Malaysia used to introduce petrol variants first, followed by the hybrids and then the EVs. Perhaps this is BMW Malaysia's way of showing its commitment to full-blown EVs. The i5 eDrive 40 is a great car to look at and to drive. It is also huge, perhaps the biggest 5 Series ever made, and is also incredibly sophisticated, perhaps rivaling the previous generation 7 Series to a certain degree. Powering the eDrive 40 is a single motor that is mounted to the rear axle and puts out 313 PS and 400 Newton meters of torque. That alone makes this a proper 5 Series, and it drives remarkably well despite weighing close to 2.5 tons. Its agility might be due to the fact that it comes with BMW's integral active steering, which is basically BMW lingo for 4-wheel steering. Power can be boosted up to 340 PS and 430 Newton meters of torque in sport mode, or when sport boost or launch control is activated. Acceleration to 100 km per hour is seen off in just 6 seconds, while top speed is rated at 193 km per hour. But this is an EV, and what matters is charging time and range, and the i5 does not disappoint. It has an 83.9 kilowatt-hour battery that provides a WLTP range of 582 kilometers. Charging from 0 to 100%, on the other hand, takes over 8 hours with an 11 kilowatt wall box, and 10 to 80% takes just 34 minutes with a 205 kilowatt DC charger. It also has a lot of other toys, which means that at 419,800 ringgit, the BMW eDrive 40 is actually quite a bargain. But the 419,000 ringgit price comes with BMW's full extended warranty package, which means you get 5-year warranty and 8-year warranty, or 160,000 kilometers on the batteries. However, if you're willing to opt for the standard warranty package, which I'm not mistaken is 2 years, you can have the car for 399,500 ringgit. I would go for the extended warranty package simply because I like the peace of mind. And if you're going to spend 399,000, 400,000 anyway, what's another 20 grand? Anyway, it's a really good looking car. There is no doubt about it. There's no bad angle to it. This comes with the full M package. So you get a lot of gloss black over here, like it or hate it. I do think that if you're going to get this car, you should get some proper paint protection films, because this is going to pick up some serious stone chips. But one of my favorite things about the new G60 i5 is those wheels. I mean, check this out. These are 21-inch wheels. They don't only look great, but the way it plays with that light and reflects light is just amazing. I just wouldn't want to go over, you know, potholes and such. That's going to be a very expensive fix. And then besides that, just from the side here, I mean, check out how big this car is. It's huge. It's really big, guys. It's probably bigger than some of the previous generation 7 Series, and it's quite tall as well. So I'm totally blown away, if you can't already tell. There's another thing I want to show you. One thing about the current BMWs is that the door handles are electronic latches where you put your hand in and press on a knob or a button and pull it out. But this is more of a traditional latch over here. And for some reason, BMW thinks that you might forget what you're driving. So they've embossed the 5 Series over here on the B pillar. You get this 5 over there. And just in case you forget again what you're driving, they've also included the 5 over here as well. So, as I've said, it comes with the M package, and that includes a lot of gloss black around the door frames as well as at the bottom here. So again, big car. So the back is actually, I mean, one of my favorite designs. I know some people don't really like the design of the taillights. I don't mind it. I think they're very sleek, very clean, very elegant. Of course, being an EV, you do not get exhaust pipes, which further simplifies the back. Part of the M package is the gloss black over here. You get this diffuser like things as well. But check out the placement of the reverse lights. Reverse please. Check this out. It's at the bottom here. And I mean, clarity aside, we can argue whether people will be able to see when you're reversing or not. But that aside, it actually is a very handsome design, isn't it? It looks really cool. So you get your third brake light at the top there, nothing new. Your brake lights, sleek and elegant. And the reverse lights, they just look really cool. I like the way the back has been designed. So since we are also at the back, I mean, as usual, let's check out the boot. But before that, if you don't already know, any BMW logo that comes with the blue hue around the logo, that denotes that this is an electric vehicle. So anyway, let's go inside. You get 492 liters of storage space, which is plenty. I mean, and the thing about it is, like I've said earlier, this was designed to be an EV from the very beginning. So you don't get the hump that sacrifices on storage space, which is typical of some EVs. This is very flat. Of course, you get more space over here as well, which you can store your charging cables, more bags, documents, diapers, everything. So yeah, 5 Series, typical 5 Series, spacious, big, comfortable. Let's go see. But before we jump inside, let's just take a look at the front. I mean, you don't get a frunk in the sense, but I'm not going to open this just in case somebody from BMW is watching and then tells me that I spoiled it. But it does look like there's a lot of space over there. So a bit of a missed opportunity from BMW to integrate a frunk? I think so, but I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Anyway, not much to see. No big old V8. Maybe in the future, never know. Thank you, BMW. Alamak. One of the things about this being such a big car is that you get lots and lots of interior space. So, I mean, this seat is adjusted to my height, so knee room, plenty of knee room. I could get easily comfortable in here. And the front seats are huge though, so this does block your forward view just a tad bit. You also get some points over here. I'm guessing this is for infotainment systems, screens and such. You get a Type-C USB slot over there. There's one over here as well, and two more at the bottom here. Of course, it comes with ISOFIX mounts and such. More stuff to get comfortable with. But check this out. This is something that I like. Touch screen adjustments for the air conditioning controls. So this is how you adjust the blower speed, this cool, and whether you want it to your face or to your feet as well. And the other thing is, one thing I really appreciate is that you get blowers at the side over here, which means you don't only get it at the bottom here, but you get cool air blowing to your face as well. Really cool. And the other thing is, it comes with an 18 speaker Bowers and Wilkins sound system. 18 speakers. You could compose music in here. But more on that later. Let's jump in front. This is my favorite part about this BMW. It's the sitting position. It's so comfortable. The steering wheel is just brilliant. It feels really nice and thick, and oh, love it. But the front over here it just takes your breath away. Of course, it's unnecessarily sophisticated in my books. I will explain more on that shortly, but there's a lot to love as well. You get a 12.3 inch meter panel at the front here, digital of course, and then it's a 14.9 inch meter panel infotainment screen over here. It's all curved. It just looks brilliant. As soon as you step in, if you've never been in a BMW before, a modern BMW, it's just going to take your breath away. There's no doubt about it. Certain quirky stuff, such as the way the panoramic glass roof opens. Usually it opens front to back. This opens back to front. Not a big deal. It's just the way BMW does it, I guess. And you get glass crystal controls over here. So this is of course for your eDrive controls, and then also the volume knob and your gear knob as well. So you get this is really nice. Of course, it's something that you have seen in previous models such as the iX as well. If I'm not mistaken, the iX was the first model to have this. Really cool. The iX in fact has some at the side here as well. Now besides that, you also get a wireless touchpad. And the thing about this dash over here is, if your eyes are sharp, you'll notice that there are no air conditioning vents. Or are there? Because this slot over here is actually your air conditioning vent. How do you control this? Usually, you have controls left and right, up, down. You do that through this over here. This is how you control the air conditioning knob. The air conditioning vent, I mean. So this is cool. And then you get, of course, it's everywhere. You get 4 controls since there are 4 vents. And everywhere. Seriously, super nice stuff. Everything is customizable. Right now, I have it in like the color. I have it in like emerald green, I think. And this is something I'll speak to you more about, because the interior truly comes alive at night. I'll show you that later. But besides that, you get stuff that are saying that is unnecessarily complicated. Or is it really necessary? Check this out, yeah? Why? But of course, that's in the spirit of Chinese New Year, you know, 恭喜发财 to everybody that celebrates it. If I'm not mistaken, it updates with every new celebration in Malaysia. We have tons of them, right? So Hari Raya is coming up, after that Deepawali, before that there's going to be a lot. So I'll be interested to know how it updates later. So anyway, you get a lot of, I mean, check out the number of apps in here. My phone doesn't have this many apps. So, and then there's this thing as well. This is the interior camera. Hi. So that's Hyrule over there, wearing the Manchester United t-shirt. Not a good time to be a Manchester United fan, but he's hardcore. Anyway, the camera is up here, and you can take selfies with it while the car is stationary. You can take fun videos with it, but the main reason why it's there is for security purposes. So you can access the video or the camera while the car is stationary through the BMW My app, and so you can just check on the interior of the car if everything's okay, or, you know, since people are so stupid these days, just to check whether you've left your kid in the car. Silly people. Anyway, you also get a eDrive recorder, so you can record the vehicle on a bunch of things that you can do. So this is great stuff, no doubt, right? So when it comes to driving modes, we all know that almost all modern cars have a bunch of different driving modes, the i5 as well. So you have something called My Modes, which you access from here, or either from this screen over here. So as soon as you press this, you get this modes over here, and you get personal, sport, efficient, expressive, relaxed, digital art. So if what happens if I press digital art, it just becomes artistic. The panoramic roof opens up. It just becomes, yeah, artistic. So I think it plays music as well. So yeah. Anyway, then, oh, it has an audio guide.
A connection with BMW. Start with the creation of the 18 BMW art car. With the digital art mode, we have the chance to cooperate again and integrate my art into the software of the car. I think it is a kind of a designate between BMW and me. The overall idea of my creation.
Anyway, this art is supposedly provided by from artist Chao Fei or something, and basically it's called Quantum Garden, and that was the artist explaining how all this art works. And notice that even the bars at the side here, everything has become purple. So now if I switch mode and I go to relax, it closes everything, and it's supposed to be a bit more private, a bit more relaxing and such. It says relax driving in a pleasant atmosphere. So, and the other thing that I really want to show you, and I really like this, is the gesture control. It still blows my mind away. Watch this. That's cool. It's been there for many years, but it still blows my mind. Anyway, then you can go to expressive. It opens up everything again. There's a bunch of stuff is always happening in this car, and personal is what I've had it in all this while, and even that you can further customize. Anyway, you get my point, that you get a bunch of customization options, mode options. The car is always interacting with you, telling you stuff and such, and I mean, it's either love it or hate it. I think it's a bit much, but my son loves it. So kind of showing my age, I guess. This is for younger people to appreciate, and it's something that I really I'm already seeing, as I said, with my son. Anyway, this is an interaction bar over here. This is BMW's interaction bar, so they call it. And if I press the hazard lights, everything becomes red. This is cool. This is really cool. And since, back to the air conditioning vents, since there's no vents over here, how do you turn it off? Let's say if you're getting cold, do you turn off the vents? You don't want any more cool air blown to your face anymore. So you press this. Check it out. So there's 1 and there's 0. 1 is fully open, 0 is fully closed. So this is partially open, this is quarter, and this is fully closed. Oh, macam-macam lah. So, but how does it drive? Let's go. I have to say this, that the BMW i5 eDrive 40 is perhaps one of the few, or perhaps a handful of EVs that have allowed me or helped me put aside my prejudices against EVs. I don't know, I'm not quite there yet. Perhaps it is because of the EV fanboys that, you know, just shove it down your throats that EVs are the way forward. You know, everywhere that you read, everything that you read every day, you know, government incentives on EVs and such, or save the planet and the works. Guys, if you want to save the planets, the planes, the ships, everything else, they emit much more carbon emissions than your car. So, of course, perhaps that has just piled it all on me and just made me, you know, I wouldn't say anti-EV, but just kind of like step back from EVs and say, hey, you know, I'm gonna like EVs at my own discretion. When I'm ready for EVs, I will embrace them. Don't force me into it. This is one of those EVs that I want to fully embrace, because driving it is just wow. Okay, it's a bit of a phenomenon, I have to say, because all these cars going by, all these motorcycles that have gone past me, I've not heard anything. The refinement that this car offers and the way it isolates its passengers from the world outside is just something else. I mean, of course, there are cars that do that really well as well, but this is a car that, if you do not go for the extended warranty, costs just a shade under 400,000 ringgit. It's just mind-blowing. And then even at 419,000 ringgit, the things that this car offers, I think BMW deserves an award for this. Particularly BMW Malaysia deserves an award for introducing this car. Of course, BMW Malaysia is fully utilizing the tax-free incentives for EVs. And why not? It just means that people like you and me get to enjoy cars like this. And wow, what a car, guys. The G65 series is unlike any other. Of course, the car is bigger. We've gotten over the facts, right? The car is bigger, it's better, the works. But what it has resulted in is a hugely impressive machine. I mean, if you didn't want to be driven in and you don't mind driving, I would say forget the 7 Series. Go for this, because everything else, except for the theater screen and everything, but which you don't really need unless you're in the back seat. But driving this car is just something else. This is a proper driver's machine. I mean, that's the thing about 5 Series. The 5 Series, isn't it? It has always been the ultimate driving machine with the M5 and such. But you feel it in here as well. I mean, I changed my mode, I put it into sport mode, and whoa! It just wants to go. And it handles well as well, because the batteries are placed underneath the car rather than, you know, at the back or somewhere at the back. It just balances out the handling and the weight distribution, and it's a rear wheel drive, which is a proper 5 Series, right? But all of that aside, I think this entire ambience, the way the car feels, the way the car makes you feel, it makes you feel rich, it makes you feel appreciated. The car wants to impress you, BMW wants to impress you, and boy, have they done a splendid job. I feel better driving this car than I did driving the Mercedes EQS. Everything in this car feels like it has come together perfectly. Where else in the EQS, there was always something that just didn't feel right. I think Mercedes has sort of messed up its EV formula, but BMW has perfected it. And this is just testament to what BMW has achieved. And it's just going to keep on getting better. This interior is just something else. Okay, anyway, EVs. Can you drive an EV like a normal internal combustion engine model? Yes and no. I mean, I'm doing about 100 kilometers per hour right now and I hardly feel it. Well, in an internal combustion engine, I would have heard or felt some vibrations. But that aside, on a day-to-day basis, if I have a range of 323 kilometers and about 62% battery left, which roughly means I'm slightly over half tank. But with half tank left, I don't have to worry about refueling. But with an EV, yeah, I got to think about where I'm going to recharge it, what I'm going to do while I'm recharging, and where am I going to recharge? Is the charger going to be available? What if there's somebody else? Where am I going to go? What if the charger is broken down? What am I going to do then? I got to make sure that I have enough range to be able to, go there and figure out what I'm going to do in case, in the event that the charger is not available or the charger is not working. I need a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D. I know you EV fanboys are probably going to say, hey bro, no need to worry so much lah. There's so much infrastructure available today. Why are you so worried? This is the real world. These are facts. And if you're going to be buying an EV, these are things that you have to think about, unless you have a wall box, which still 11 kilowatts. Yeah. Anyway, you get my drift. So, how is it like to drive? I say it's brilliant, it's perfect, it's a very, very nice car. Don't bother about buying a Mercedes EQ. Don't bother. Just get this. You'll thank me for it. But one thing I want to tell you though, is that this interior comes alive when the sun goes down. So I want to show you how it feels when the sun goes down. But before I do that, I also want to tell you, I really appreciate BMW's voice command system. Check this out. I'm feeling cold.
No problem, it will be warmer shortly.
It picks up on accents, it picks up on all your slangs, and it just does brilliantly. And even though this might be complicated, there's no air conditioning controls over there and such. I can just do this. All my passengers are feeling cold.
Could you repeat that, please?
All my passengers are feeling cold.
Please retry or say help. Sorry, I didn't quite understand you again. Maybe these example commands might be helpful.
All of us are feeling cold.
No problem, it will be warmer shortly.
Yeah. So it does stuff like that. And I appreciate that. Rather than having to delve deep into the system, you can just say it out loud. I know a lot of cars do that. I just really like the one in the BMW. Anyway, I'll see you when the sun goes down. Be right back. Alright guys, so sun is down and the interior of the i5 has taken on an entirely different character. The lights have come out to play. Shortly, I'll park the i5 somewhere and just show you how good the interior looks like. But before that, check out that illuminated front grille. It just looks really nice. It looks imposing. And I think it's much more proportionate than the one on the i7. The i7 just looks like it came off Peppa Pig's nose and somebody decided to light it up. But the i5 though, I think it looks more proportionate, it looks more wow. If you see an i5 arriving, you'd actually, want to know what car is that. With the i7, I've seen it a couple of times on the road. It just makes you go, what the F, right? But not so much on the i5. I think the i5, it balances the illuminated grille really well. It's not too big, it's not too small. It sort of achieves its objective of having people turn around and wanting to know what car it is. So I think the i5 does that illuminated grille thing really well. But besides that though, I think because the headlights come with laser LEDs, it also looks really good. Not only are they super bright, but they just sort of look understatedly cool. I appreciate that. The interior though is where the real action is. I'll speak about that as soon as I park the car. So anyway, check out the ambience and how it has changed in the dark. The lights, the contrast over here, everything is just so rich. It's just mind-blowing, right? And I know there are a lot of cars that actually do look really well at night, but I think this BMW just takes it to an all-new level. Perhaps it's because of this gigantic curved screen over here, and the display is just so crisp. But besides that, it's also these lights. Okay, now I know I showed you earlier, but check out how good this looks at night. This is just amazing. So it's hard to beat the Mercedes when it comes to light play like that, because like the EQS, it just completely dominates, especially for the passengers as well. I wonder if the passengers get to see. No, the passengers don't. That's the difference. With the EQS, even the back passengers get to see what's going on at the side of the door and such. But besides that, let's change the colors. This is something that you got to see. Where's that? Interior colors. Mana dia? Why does it always disappear when we want to show it? Oh, there it is. Interior lighting, ambient. So I got it on indigo right now, which is this blue. Now let me show you papaya. This sort of reminds me of McLaren, right? And this is flamingo, pink, some very Pink Panther-ish. And then we got rose, which sort of look like creamish, off-white kind of stuff. And then, of course, you have gold. This looks good. And then we have lime. This looks like it belongs in a margarita or something. And then emerald. Now this looks good as well. And it's not only this that changes color, but even the cup holders over here, the charge pad over here, just minor details that change color as well. And I just love the way it looks, especially with this 3D dynamic displays over here. This aluminium, of course, this aluminium trim looks good regardless, but yeah, I've just have my mind blown if you can't already tell. The other thing is, check out how the interior camera looks like right now. It's so Blair Witch Project-ish, kind of showing my age here. So yeah, you can take selfies, we can take videos. I've taken a couple of selfies to share with BMW Malaysia's group. Anyway, I think I've made my point. The interior is a very nice place to be in, regardless whether you're driving or being driven in. It's just there's just a bunch of stuff to keep you entertained and just blow your mind. Now, the outside. Let's go. So from the outside, especially at night, it takes on a totally different character. But check out this carpet lights over here. It doesn't mean much, it's just a bunch of designs. I'm sure it means something, but I'm not quite sure what. But earlier I said BMW laser LEDs, it's actually BMW LED headlights. And then this is the illuminated grille. I think this is just brilliant. Looks much better than the one on the i7. I've already said that. I really like this touch. I think BMW has just nailed it over there. And the 21-inch wheels, remember in the daytime I said it just reflects light and it looks really good. It just does a better job at night. It's just such a brilliant, the way it plays with bounces lights all across. I like it. This grey, well, it's a love it or hate it color. I don't mind it. And then from the back, there's no mistaking this for anything else. It's typically BMW. Just such a gorgeous design. The lights, the overall design, the way it drives, the way the car feels like, especially with that range. I'm usually not very impressed with EVs, but the i5 eDrive 40 is just something else. Anyway guys, I've made my point. Brilliant car, right now in the market for 419,000. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. As usual, do consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.